Well, students, good evening to all of you. So, guys, today we will discuss the topic teaching and learning. Okay, guys. So, this is the paper. This is the topic that unders the paper 3, right? Learning and teaching. So, you all can put your audio on the mute. Okay, because I have started the lectures already, right, guys? So, topic is teaching and learning,
Learning.
right, guys? Please don't say anything. Okay, first I will discuss. I'll speak by myself. Okay, later on, if you have the doubt, you should have copy and pen. You can note it. Okay, later on we can discuss. Okay, so now please you have to listen, right? So this topic, teaching and learning, it comes under your paper 3, guys. Okay, learning and teaching. Okay, guys. So first we start with the teaching, guys. Okay, what do you understand by teaching? This is the most important, and these 3 papers we will discuss first. That will make your base. Okay, guys. So guys, what is teaching? Okay, teaching basically is a interactional process, right? Teaching involves the teacher, learner, and the learning material, right? These 3 process that makes the teaching. Okay, it is a process by which teacher brings the student and the subject matter together, right? So teaching is an interactional process, and there is a one most important definition which was given by the Smith, right? See the definitions what the Smith has said. According to the Smith, teaching is a system of actions intended to induce learning, right, guys? So what is teaching? Teaching is a system of actions. This is the most important definitions. Okay, no doubt you have to learn some of the definitions. These are the important, but with learning of the definitions you have to reflect on the definitions. Okay, what the Smith has said, teaching is a system of actions intended to induce learning. It means when there would be a teaching, there would be a learning, right? Means what the Smith wants to say that, okay, what is the meaning of a learning? First you should understand what is the meaning of a learning, guys. The meaning of a learning means modifications of the behavior of the learner, right? For example, in a class you are giving the lecture. Okay, after 30 minutes, after 35 minutes, the behavior of the lecture should be, the behavior of the learner should be modified, okay, by your teaching. So guys, if the behavior of the learner has modified, that means your teaching is successful. Okay, so Smith has said that if there would be a teaching, okay, if there is a teaching, there would be a learning, right? It means modifications of the behavior of the learner. Okay, for example, Rabindranath Tagore has said, okay, last Sunday I have also given you the example what the Rabindranath Tagore has said. Rabindranath Tagore has said, a light can never light to another lamp unless or until it continues to burn its own flame, right? In a simple word, teacher should be a learner first, right? So every time we have to learn. When we are learning, so whatever we are going to teach, definitely it impacts, right? Next, we talk about nature and characteristics of a teaching. This is the most important, nature and characteristics of a teaching. The first point is that teaching is an interactional process. Hana, you already know, Hana, we have just discussed, right? Second, guys, these are the most important points. Okay, so you can underline, right, these points so that you will come to know that what is the meaning of a teaching and learning. Because this full course of a B.Ed, it is basically a teaching methodology course, right, guys? So teaching is a matter of drawing out. Okay, don't think that teaching means pouring into the mind of the student. Okay, some teachers think that now this is our syllabus, and they start teaching, they come in the class and open the book and start the teaching. Guys, today we'll discuss this topic. You have seen that. So guys, you don't have to pouring into the mind of the student. Okay, the mind of the student is not dustbin, right? Even ki Swami Vivekananda has already said that education is the divine perfections of the education is the manifestation of the divine perfections already existing in a man. So guys, बच्चे को तो already पता ही है चीजें. What you are pouring into the mind of the student, what you have to do that you have to draw out. Teaching means matter of drawing out. Teaching means stimulating the learning power of the student, right? Student अपने आप पढ़ लेंगे, right guys? Whatever you want to teach, they will learn by their self. Okay, but being teacher, what is your duty? Your duty is that you have to stimulate the learning power of the student. You have to give the platform to the student where student can speak more and more. Your class should be a democratic way. Okay, you have to develop the questions why, into the mind of the student. Okay, they should ask you why madam this happened. Okay, so teaching means matter of drawing out. Okay, second is causing to learn, right? Another, it is an important point. Teaching means causing to learn. Guys, whatever you are teaching, okay, it should create the student cause to learn. Hana, they should learn automatically, right? Here I just want to give you one example. Okay, that every person has a favorite teacher in his life, and guys, right? Some say that my your favorite subject, you can say that, Hana. Some say that my favorite subject is SST. Some say that my favorite subject is English. Some says that my favorite subject is science and other subject, right? So basically the subject is not favorite. Basically your teacher was favorite when you were child. Okay, so your teachers make your topic interested. Okay, that's why you have developed a love with your subject. So teaching means causing to learn. Teaching is a tripolar process. Okay, what is a tripolar process? So guys, whatever I'm teaching to you, whatever I'm explaining to you, the same PDF, whatever here I'm explaining, you will get the notes. Okay, like in the previous lecture, you have got the video along with the PDF file. Okay, similarly, whatever I'm explaining, the same notes, same PDF file, you will get it, right? Tripolar process. Tripolar means teaching has a three pole. On the one pole is a teacher, on the second pole is a learner, and on the third pole is social environment. Right, guys? Right? So what is the meaning of that? Okay, it means the teacher has to teach to the student in the light of the social environment, in the light of the society. Okay, for example, today we are teaching, you are teaching to the student. So guys, you have to teach to the student keeping in view the examples of the today's society. Okay, you cannot give the example of a 25 years back, because the style, the level of 25-year back student was different. Now, most of the method has come, most of the theories has come, cognitive theories has come. Okay, and you have to give the examples in your teachings according to the society, what is going into the society. Well planned activity. So guys, teaching जो है, teaching is a well planned activity है, right? Don't think that teaching is it is a just task, giving the lecture and my duty has done. Basically teaching is sometime it was said that teaching is not everybody's cup of tea, right? So guys, it is a planned activity, right? Even this is a simple lecture for me. Okay, what can I do? I know that I have to take the class of a 5:30. Okay, directly I can put on the laptop, I can start giving the lectures to you, but not. Okay, before giving you lectures, I just check my slides. Okay, I just planned what I will do. That first I planned that I will ask some of the questions from the students, okay, based on the previous lecture. Okay, then I will tell about the syllabus and others, then I will start this topic. Okay, even that was it is on my fingertip. Okay, this lecture I have given you many times, even thousands times. Okay, because dealing with the B.Ed M.Ed from since 2004 and 5. Okay, so syllabus is almost same. Okay, it never changes, it changes according to the time, right? But I just want to give you the example. It is a planned activity, because what happens, whatever you learn, it goes into your subconscious mind. Okay, when you start revisions on it, so it comes on your conscious mind, right? That's why it was said that revision is the mother of learning. Okay, now this time you have a lot of knowledge, you have come from the various backgrounds. Okay, cracking the BA, BSc, BCom examinations. Okay, you are a graduate, postgraduate students, you know a lot of things. Okay, but what happened, you have left with your books. Okay, you didn't open it. Okay, for example, I just want to tell me the first year syllabus of a BA, BSc, BCom. Hana, you don't remember. Hana, you don't have in your mind. So basically, guys, whatever you have learned, okay, try to give revisions over it. When you will give revisions over it, it will come automatically in your mind. What is the definitions of the confident? हम कहते हैं ना कि this person is a confident, this is not confident. What is the meaning that? The person is a confident because he has given more emphasis on the revisions part. Okay, he has revised, he has practiced, okay, practiced that particular things. Okay, so it is a well planned activity. Teaching is an art. Next is teaching is an art. So guys, there is a one definitions of a Cunningham, right? When we will do the topic of curriculum, so there is a one definitions of a Cunningham. So Cunningham has said that teacher is an artist. He molds the student in his studio. What is a studio? Studio is the school, right? So it is a teacher, okay, which makes the raw material, means student, into a meaningful informations, right, guys? So guys, there is a need of teacher in your life, okay, which can tell you about realities of the life, okay, and guide you throughout the throughout your life. Teaching is a science. So next point is teaching is a science. So guys, teaching is also a science. Teaching does not mean you start from anywhere and you stop anywhere your topic. Teaching is a systematic activity. What is the meaning of a science? Science means systematic, one after the other. Okay, so teaching is also a systematic activity, one after the other. Okay, yaad rakhna. Today we will discuss phases of teaching. What are the stages of teaching? Okay, so when we will do the stages of teaching, so this concept would be more clear. Teaching is a science. Sometimes what the teacher does, teacher teach in the class, and whole time, for example, he has to take the class of a 35 minutes. 35 minutes he speaks, and next day he starts with the another topic. This is not a teaching. Okay, so basically 35 minute mein what you have to do, 5 minutes you have to evaluate the student, okay, what they have learned, and the next day you have to start with the PK testing. PK testing means previous knowledge testing, right? This is the method of the teaching. For example, in today's class, okay, you can see that, okay, you all are ready to open the Zoom meeting and others, okay, but nobody learned the previous topic. So what I did that, okay, I asked at least 10-15 questions. Okay, so what happened? Okay, you start learning and giving me the answer. So what was my motive? My motive was that there was a lot of things coming in your mind. So basically within a 5 minutes, 7 minutes, these all things you all have come in the class mentally. Physically you have come, okay, but mentally it can be, might be, some of was not there. But when I starting the questions, all of mentally you have come in the class. So guys, this is a step. That's why it is a science. Teaching is a cooperative. So guys, always cooperate with your student. Okay, don't make fool to your student, right? Student always regards you as an ideal person, right? Because whatever you are teaching to the student, the student, listens, everything. So he makes the ideal to you in his mind. So guys, it is a cooperative. You always have to teach with a cooperation, with a suggestive way, with a remedial way, right? If you think that in your class, okay, these students have understood, but some of the students didn't understand your lecture. So guys, you should take the extra class for that student so that he should also come up with the class. So teaching is a remedial, teaching is a suggestive, teaching is a cooperative. Teaching involves skills in guiding learning. So teaching, involves lot of skills of guiding learning. For example, instructional material, teaching methods. Okay, guys, you should have, knowledge of all of these, okay, to become a good teacher. Okay, for example, I ask some of the questions from you, right? Okay, I ask the questions, can you tell me the steps of the lessons plan? You can't. Can you explain any of the teaching models? You can't. Can you explain any of the theories of learning? You can't. Even you cannot tell the name of the theories of the learning. Okay. Can you tell me about the, CAM, concept attainment model, right? Can you tell me what is the difference between the teaching and the learning, right? Not. So how you can say that you have become a teacher? So these all the things, at least unless or until you don't learn, okay, you should have a sound knowledge of it. These all the things. Only then, guys, you can become a good teacher, effective teacher, and even inspired teacher, right? The last point is the teaching is a both formal and informal process, right? So it has cleared from the types of the education. Education is a formal, non-formal, and informal. Means you cannot bound the education between the four walls, right? Informal you can teach. So similarly, teaching is a both formal and informal process, right? So these are the, nature and characteristics most important. You have to learn it, guys, right? Okay, the second subheading under the topic teaching and learning is stages or phases of teaching, right? So guys, always you have to keep in your mind there are three phases of teaching or stages of teaching. One is pre-active stage, one is interactive stage, and third is post-active stage. Okay, you always, it should be on your fingertips. Okay, being teacher, guys, when we will finish some of the syllabus, okay, so everything you should know it, okay, because now your field is the teaching field. Okay, if anybody asks from you, you should know it, guys. You are the teacher. Okay, you should develop the habit of learning every day, right? I mean, now I'm in this profession from last 20 years, but trust on me, today I give 2 to 3 hours to my study. I make the notes, I make the papers, I write the papers, I do a lot of activities, okay, to improve myself for the professional growth, right, guys? So you are doing this course, okay, don't think that if you aside these all course, okay, then you cannot become a perfect, right? So what are the stages and phases of teaching? Pre-active stage, interactive stage, and post-active stage. Okay, these three stages of a teaching. And what happens on the every stage? The number one stage is the pre-active stage. So what happens? So guys, this is a such kind of a stage where you plan all the things. Okay, for example, tomorrow you have to teach to the 9th class, 10th class, yeah, wherever you have to give the lectures to your audience in any of the seminar or a conference. Okay, so what you do that? You basically make the plan. You plan of your lecture. Okay, so first thing, it should come in your mind. Okay, what is the name of that thing? The subject. Okay, right? What is the meaning of a subject? What is the meaning of a subject? So I'm going to the previous slide. There is a one nature and characteristics of a teaching na, right? So guys, here all of you can write one point, right? It was given by the Dr. Lalit, right? ये आपको कहीं पे भी point नहीं मिलेगा. Okay, you can write one point, nature and characteristics of a teaching. The point is to know the subject. right? To know the subject. Okay, subject means student. Guys, unless or until you, if you don't know about the student, for example, in your class there are 40 students, got it? And if you don't know the mind of the 40 students, if you don't know the attitude, aptitude, interest of these all the 40 students, right? From where all the 40 student has come, right? From which family they have come. Okay, if you don't have the ability to read the mind of the student, trust me, you can never teach effectively. This is called emotional intelligence. You can write it. Whenever I'm giving the lecture, guys, you should have copy and pen. No way you will get the notes and others. But you know what happens when I'm teaching? I get a lot of examples. Okay, because I was teaching you in a flow. Okay, so my concept is clear. So any of the definitions, concept new comes in my mind. I try to tell you because of your development. Now the word has come, emotional intelligence, right? This is the most important. What is the meaning of emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence means you have a control on your emotions, as well as you have the ability to read the emotions of the other students. This is called emotional intelligence. Okay, sometimes teacher has to control ourselves. You have seen now some are emotionally start this all the things. So to know the subject means to know your student first. Okay, so I come back on my topic, my subheading, stages or phases of teaching. There are three stages. One is pre-active stage, second is interactive stage, third is post-active stage. Under a pre-active stage, guys, you have to plan, keeping in view that about your student. Okay, what are the students of the class 6th, 7th, or 9th, to whom you are going to give the lecture? What are the level of these students? Okay, what are the interest of these students? Okay, how they will understand whether I should speak in English using bilingual method, other method. Okay, and how you have to prepare your lesson. Okay, how you have to go from simple to complex way, concrete to abstract way, from actual to representations way. Okay, how you have to proceed your lecture. Okay, these all things you plan in your mind during the first stage of teaching, which is pre-active stage. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Second is interactive. Interactive stage is that when you interact with the students directly, right? Now you have come in the class and now you are interacting with the students. Okay, this is the stage of a second stage of a teaching, yes, second phase of a teaching. Interactive means in this stage, guys, you teach to the students by giving various examples in your lecture. Okay, so when you give the various example, your lectures becomes interesting, right? So every case you have to teach in that way, so that the stimulating powers, you have to stimulate the learning power of the students, so their emotions should be evoked, right guys, so that they should go for a learning. Third is a post active. Don't forget this. Okay, if your lecture is a 35-minute, so guys, last 5 minutes you have to keep to evaluate the student, right? How you can do the evaluations? Okay, whatever you have taught to the students, right? You can ask from the student, various questions, whatever you have used in the lecture, so that it is called evaluation, so that you will come to know that whatever you have taught, the student has got or not. This is the most important stage. Okay, so evaluate the student. It is a must, right? Next, guys, we talk about principles of teaching. Okay, teaching के कुछ सिद्धांत होते हैं. Some are general principles, some are psychological principles. Now you all are going to become a teacher. You should be aware of these all the principles. Okay, so the first principle is a principle of a definite aim, principle of a activity, principle of a linking with actual life and other subjects. Means we start from first, principle of a definite aim. So guys, your aim should be clear, should be crystal clear. right? You have entered in the class, you are going to teach to the student, your aim should be crystal clear. My aim is that whatever I know about this particular topic, after a 35-minute, I have to train my student. They should be perfect in this topic. This aim should be crystal clear, right? This is my duty. I have got a 35 minutes. This is my class, right? I will expect, I will try my level best. Even all the student, whatever the topic I'm going to teach, this topic should be on the fingertip of the students, right? That is a crystal clear aim. Second is a principle of activity, right? These are the principles of teaching. Make your teaching activity, active based, right? Activity, you should uh, 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 this kind of activity you have to use in your class basically. Okay, teach your student with the activity method. Okay, for example, go for a discussion sometime, right? Go for a debate, right? Sometime, make the group of the students, suppose 40 students are there, make the group of 20 students and 20 students, and say that, guys, of the first 20 students, you have to speak against of this topic, and you have to speak favor of this topic, and you have to stand on the behind, right? You just work as a facilitator, not the teacher, right? So you have to help to the students, right? So make your class, make your topic activity based. Third, देखो, this is the important. Okay, I have already told you. Principle of a linking with actual life and other subject. Guys, teach your topic, okay, by linking with other subject and with the actual life. Give the actual life examples, okay, whosoever you are teaching. You have heard one thing na, कि many of the student, they have a fear of mathematics, है ना? You have listened na, I think you would be agree, right? They have a fear of a mathematics. Guys, trust me, it is a not fault of the mathematics, it is a fault of the mathematics teacher, right? Okay, because in our India there is a lack of a mathematics teacher, right? If the teacher is a perfect, he can make the bad lecture very interesting. He can make the bad lecture, he can convert the bad topic into a good topic, right? So it all depends on the teacher, right? Sometimes you have a this thing in your mind, I have come from the science background, I can teach the science better. This is also a misconceptions. You can teach the history better, you can teach the social science better, right? Guys, it does not mean, it is not education is not bound about the subject, teaching is not bound about the subject. Okay, you are a good teacher. If you are a good teacher, you can teach any of the subject in the world, any subject, right? So it is, there is no connections of the content writing. In our classes now, we also provide the faculty development program. Okay, in Saturday or Sunday, in the coming days, I will give you the faculty development program of it, techno pedagogical competencies. Okay, on there I will clear you what are the content knowledge and what are the pedagogical knowledge. Okay, so teaching is not bound on the subjects and others. Okay, so don't try to say that I cannot teach this subject, this subject, this subject. Okay, you are a good teacher, you can teach any of the subject. Okay, the main thing is that the psychology of the teaching, the theory of the teaching, the methodology of the teaching, you should be aware of that, you should be familiar of that, right? Principle of planning, right? Principle of a corporations, you know that it is a planning, Hana? We have discussed in the characteristics में corporations. 6 point is the important, most important. Please write on your notebook. Okay, tick mark. Many times you will interact, you can encounter with this word, individual difference. So first of all, guys, no two persons are alike. Even the twins are different. They are different in interest, they are different in attitude, aptitude, knowledge, intelligence, personality. There are a lot of things, you know, cognitive activity. There is a lot of things, psychology. Okay, they would be different from each other. Even the twins are not alike. Okay, so guys, you are teaching to the students of a 30 students, 40 students. Remember one thing in your mind, these you are interacting with the 30 or 40 minds. Okay, this is your duty. You have to keep in your mind, these are out of a 40, some are average student, some are below average student, some are intelligent student. So I have to teach from that way, so that my lecture should be understood by each and every person, right? So the principle of a teaching is a individual difference, right? So you have to keep in your mind individual difference. Okay, if any of them mushkil term, difficult term comes in your topic, so guys, you have to make easy for them. Okay, so you have to cover, you know, all the three persons. Okay, average, below average, and intelligent students, so that no persons from all of all of these should think that they should be insulted, right? Malab, they are insulted by the teacher if you are giving a lot of time to the, you know, below average students. Okay, so you should have this activity. Okay, how you have to skip, right? You have to give some of the questions to, you know, those group, and you know, you have to provide the remedial teaching to this group, right? So this is the activity. You will get, no doubt, you will get perfect. Okay, after doing this. Okay, after, you know, working on some of my lectures and others. Okay, don't worry. Seventh is a principle of a pupil centeredness. So guys, isko to apne dimag mein bitha lo aap. Yes, it is a most important. But guys, life mein you have to give importance to the student, right? Guys, child is the hero of the drama. ये सारा क्या चीज है? इट इज ए ड्रामा, इट इज ए पिक्चर, राइट? स्कूलों में लगना, टीचर लगना, टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी, एजुकेशनल प्रोसेस. ओके, थिंक दैट दिस इज द बिग पिक्चर, राइट? कि इसमें बिल्डिंग्स भी हैं, इसमें करेक्टर्स भी हैं, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. बट ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, चाइल्ड इज द हीरो ऑफ द ड्रामा, child is the hero of the picture. You cannot ignore the child, right? Even, you know, child gets late in the class, you should reach on the class, you should be punctual. If your lecture is a 9 to 9:30, you should be 9 o'clock, you should be in the class. Okay, if the student comes 10 minutes late, no worries, right? Guys, you cannot dominate to the student, you cannot teach to the student by dominating, right? You have to teach to the student with love, you have to teach to the student with caring, you have to teach to the student by stimulating the learning power of the student, right? So pupil centeredness. Okay, don't grudge with your students. Okay, whatever the situation is. Okay, so you have to go according to the student. Okay, child is the hero of the drama. Principle of a democracy, Hana, you have to give democracy in your class. Principle of a progressiveness, diagnostic and remedial, we have discussed. Okay, now we move to the psychological principles. Okay, these are the general principle on the left hand side. Right hand side are the psychological principle. So guys, your teaching should be based on motivation, it should be based on sympathy and kindness, cooperations, recreations, readiness, providing training to the senses, encouraging self-learning, creativity and self-expression, group dynamics, feedback and reinforcement, right? So these all the word, na, it is a full-fledged topic, right? So you cannot learn a principle of a motivation within a minute, sympathy and kindness within a minute. So these all are full-fledged topic which we have to do during our 2-year course, right? So psychological principle, little bit we do that, so that you will come to know what is the meaning of that, in a general. Okay, when the topic motivation would start, then we will go into the deeper way. Otherwise, you should know that principle of a motivation. So guys, the first and, you know, most important psychological principle is that you should motivate the student first, right? Whatever you are going to the teach, first motivate the student. Okay, providing sympathy and kindness, cooperations, recreations, readiness. Okay, when you are going into the class, don't start topic in the class directly. Okay, once prepare the student ready for the learn. Okay, by asking some of the questions, create the interest. Okay, even you should know the name of the student. When you call to the students with the name, Anna, they feel very respected. Our teacher is knowing my name, right? So these all things you should know. That principle of providing training to the senses. There are 5 senses. Okay, for example, I'm giving you the lecture, you are listening. Okay, what happens if you have seen that in the last lecture I have given you some of the assignment, right? Okay, now in my lecture I have told you that, okay, come with the copy and pen. Okay, and I have told you that I'm asking every time, I'm asking the previous questions from you, right? What I'm doing that, you are using your all the senses. Anna, you are using when you are writing hand, and you are writing, Anna, you are using the hand. You are listening my lectures, Anna, you are seeing my lectures, Anna, my gestures. Okay, the way you are reading my mind, Anna, you are looking me directly. So I'm using your whole of the senses. If I say you guys listen my lecture, okay, I will give you everything. What will happen after a 2 months or 3 months? So guys, I'm the responsible who have killed your all other senses. I'm the persons who didn't train your senses, right? If the teacher comes in the class and directly start the teaching, okay, and he is not discussing some of the questions, so guys, what happens? Teacher is the responsible for killing the reasoning power of the student. So when the teacher comes in the class and direct start that topic, so this is the teacher who has killed the reasoning power of the student, irrespective teacher knows or teacher does not know, right? So sometimes it happens. Okay, so that's why B.Ed, M.Ed, these course we do that, so that we should have a complete knowledge, right? And remember, my one thing, this is the most important. Teachers are the nation builder, right? This time you can check the nations, all other the nations. You can see the Singapore, Japan, and others. Okay, they have got independent during the way we got independence in the year of 1950 and uske aaspaas hai, right? Why they have got success? You can see the teachers over there, right? Due to the teaching, right, guys? So teacher hai, it is a torch bearer to the society. It gives light to the society, right? Think about yourself. Whatever you are the copy of your teacher. Anna, you are a copy of a someone. Your attitude, your communications level, your style, each and everything, Anna, it is resembling with someone. Anna, it can be resemble with your mother, your father, your teacher, right? So guys, mother can be your teacher, father can be your teacher, right? So it all depends on the teacher. Even a one important definitions, teaching is such kind of a profession that creates all other profession. Doctors, engineers, politicians, any other field, you can say that this is a teacher, who made the doctors, who made the engineers, who made the architects, all other fields. Seventh is a principle of encouraging self-learning, right, guys? So you have to encourage the self-learning. Okay, give the some topic to the student. Creativity, self-expression, group dynamics, feedback, and reinforcement. Okay, take the reinforcement from the student, feedback from the students. Okay, group dynamic means, okay, make the group. Okay, foster the creativity among the students. Okay, give the chance to the student to come in the class and speak something. This is a self-expression. Okay, these are all the psychological principle. You also know that. Okay, the another subheading is a maxims of teaching. Okay, so maxim of teaching, basically you can say that the style, you can say that the way of the teaching. Okay, guys, so basically it is not fixed. Every teacher has to follow that. Okay, he can go little bit change, but these are the standardized maxims of the teaching, which every teacher should follow, right? So guys, whenever you have to teach to the student, Okay, you always have go to known to unknown, right guys? You have to go to the known to unknown, okay, whenever you are teaching to the students. And second is the simple to complex. Whenever you are teaching to the students, you have to follow the method uh, simple to complex, okay. Don't start your lecture with the complex things, and okay, then come later on the simple words, right? Because students are unaware of the things na, na? So first of all, what are the known things, है ना? You have to aware of the student, जिसके बारे में already they know that, है ना? Then you have to go unknown things, right? You have to start from the simple and go to the complex, right? So guys, teaching is a, you know, such kind of activity. If you are you know the, you know, teaching methodology, you know the teaching learning process, you know, you have this a sound knowledge of the psychology, sound knowledge of the philosophy, okay, you can teach to the student, guys, whatever the topic, whatever the difficult topics and other things, okay. This is all your, you know, mastery of over the, you know, teaching. So that's why now I have told that teaching is a something different. It is a different from the content matter. Don't think that ki you are done the BA, BSc from the English, science and others, and you are the best teacher. Teaching is a different thing. Content knowledge, you can say it can be a content knowledge. Okay, it can't be a teaching. Okay, so what is a teaching? What now this time we are doing that. Okay, these all the syllabus, whatever I'm discussing with you, this is all the comes under the teaching. Simple to complex, you have to proceed. Concrete to abstract, particular to general, empirical to rational, psychological to logical, actual to representative, definite to indefinite, whole to part. Okay, first tell the whole part, whole, then go from the part. Okay, for example, I have first told you all these 7 papers we have to do that. Okay, then you know, or these 3 papers we are discussing, Anna, and you know, one topic I have selected, part wise I am going that. Okay, so don't go for that ki topic uthaya kahin se bhi and start teaching in the class. Okay, next day start the other topic. Make link. Okay, teaching is a science, we have just know that. Teaching is a well-planned activity, right? There are 3 phases of a teaching: pre-active, interactive, post-active. We have come to know that, guys. So these all the points, okay, it talks about you have to proceed from simple to complex, known to unknown, concrete to abstract, है ना? Concrete होता है ठोस चीजें, solid things, to imaginative things, right? अब you're talking about the particular things, okay? Ab student, how the student can imagine it unless they didn't see the things, right? Empirical to rational, first observe, they should have a first hand experience, okay, then make the students to learn with the arguments and explanation. Psychological to logical, this is the most important, okay. First you have to keep in your mind the need, the importance, the attitude, the aptitude, the liking of the student, this is called psychological. Then start your topic, which is a logical. You are going to teach something to the student, na? Something, it is a logical, okay. So guys, you should proceed from psychological to logical. First understand your student, understand the knowledge of the student, understand the mental level of the student, understand the IQ level of the student, understand the liking of the student, understand the disliking of the student, attitude of the student, aptitude of the student, personality of the student, creativity of the students. There are a lot of things under the psychology. So you should know, basically in a one word, you should know psychology of the student, then go for a logical, then start your topic, right? Actual to representations, first show the actual things, then go to the pictures and model, understand with the pictures and models, right? Sometimes, you know, teacher doesn't know, teacher doesn't have a mastery over the topic, तो वो गोलमोल कर देते हैं, right? उससे क्या होता है, वो स्टूडेंट का नुकसान होता है उससे, right guys? Definite to indefinite, whole to part, right? So this is a kind of a, you know, maxims, or you can say style of the teachings, okay. So you should know these all the, you know, maxims and others, okay. Yes, these are the whatever I'm teaching, this is the most important topic, okay. Many times asked in your interviews, in your questions, in your CTET exam, PTET exams, okay, whenever you are discussing, everywhere you will get, you should be aware of these terms, okay. Learning, guys, kya hoti hai? What is a learning? Learning is said to be equivalent to change, modifications, development, improvement, and adjustment. It is a lifelong process. It starts from the day when the child is born and continues up to his death. According to the Gates, learning is the modifications of the behavior through experience and training. Okay, in a one line, understand the meaning of a learning. Learning means change, modifications of the behavior of the change in the modification of the behavior of the learner. Okay, for example, you are teaching to the student, right? What should be the result? Suppose you are going to, switch on the button of fan. Okay, what happens? Fan will move, right? You are going to switch on the, tube light. The tube light will, start. Okay, the light will come out, right? One is input, one is output. Similarly, when you are teaching to the student, this is called input. And what is the output? Output is that due to your teaching, the behavior of the student has modified. This is a teaching, right? This is a learning. Okay. Whenever you are teaching, the behavior of the student has modified with your teaching, with your lecture. It is called learning. So learning means it is said to be a change, modifications, development, improvement, and adjustment. Right, guys? So that's why I have told you now 5 minutes you have to ask the students. Even when you are asking the students last 5 minutes to know that, right, whether they have understood or not, side by side, guys, you are evaluating your lecture also. Okay, how much you are useful to the student, how much you have delivered to the student. Even those 5 minutes, you can evaluate yourself basically. Okay, how you should proceed, right? Up now teaching you have done, Hana? Okay. After this, there is only one slide. Okay. This is called relationship between teaching and learning. Okay. Before starting the relationship between teaching and learning, we have done the teaching, meaning of teaching, definitions of teaching, stages of teaching, nature and characteristics of a teaching, general principles of teaching, psychological principles of teaching, maxims of teaching, learning kya cheez hoti hai na? We are done with. Now the last topic is subheading is relationship between teaching and learning, right? So guys, what is a relationship? Many times this questions comes. Teaching is a task oriented activity, while learning is a achievement oriented activity. Whatever you are going to teach, definitely there would be a result. Student will learn. Teaching is a system of activities which results in learning. Same ye definition given by the B.O. Smith. Teaching is a system of activities intended to induce learning. So, from where that point has come, teaching is a system of various activities which results in learning. It is a closely related to each other. Okay. You can say teaching and learning are, to some extent, you can say these are the two parts of the same coin, right? Teaching aims at producing learning. So basically, conclusion is that if there is a teaching, okay, the result would be learning, right, guys? In teaching, next is in teaching a deliberate attempt. देखो, teaching एक deliberate attempt होता है, right? Deliberate attempt. मतलब जानबूझ के, समझ के, अच्छे से, okay, you are going to teach to the student, right? Because it is a deliberate attempt. Okay, everything should be clear in your mind. It is a deliberate attempt is made to make the learner acquire knowledge, skills, and attitude. So guys, if the student is not trained, it is a fault of the teacher. If student does not have the knowledge, it is fault of the teacher. If student does not develop a skill, it is fault of the teacher. If does not develop good attitude, it is a fault of the teacher. And in conclusion, there is always fault of the teacher. Okay, not fault of the behalf on the student. Always learn. Okay, this is important. Now this thing you have come to know when you are doing the B.Ed. Okay, before the B.Ed, you don't have this thing in your mind. Okay, you have a lot of excuses on that time. You had a lot of excuses on that time कि स्टूडेंट नालायक है, स्टूडेंट का आईक्यू लेवल बेटर नहीं है, स्टूडेंट शरारती है, स्टूडेंट ये है, स्टूडेंट वो है, right? So this is your activity, how to engage the student. Ab now I'm also teaching to all the students now, right? You discuss with me, okay? I'm controlling to every person. Even you all are, it can be, more knowledgeable than me, more experienced than me, but I have a good hold on the teaching learning process. Okay, that's why you are listening, me very carefully. So similarly, guys, if you have a good control, good mastery over the teaching, okay, so definitely student will get the knowledge, student will get the skill, student will get the attitude, good attitude. Teaching may or may not result in learning, but effective teaching is one which produces learning. Anna, this is the good point. Okay, so you have come in the class and start teaching. A simple teaching, it may or may not be result in learning, but effective teaching is one which produces learning. What is effective teaching? It is using all these stages of teaching, using all the maxims of teaching, using all the principles of a teaching, so that teaching becomes a effective, and the result is producing effective learning. And in the words of a Burton was a educationist. He has done that. He has written, teaching is a stimulation. Dekho guys, this is the important thing, most important thing. Stimulation है teaching, right? Teaching means a stimulation. Teaching means, it is an appetizer. Before khana, we have gone, restaurants, na, so what we do that, na? So first we order any shake and other, any soup, na, in winters and others, na, because they act as an appetizer. So guys, teaching, make your teaching, whatever you are going to teach her, make your teaching appetizer. First of all, they, they should be ready to learn. Okay, don't start your teaching. Okay, first, create that environment, ask some of the questions so that they should be ready to learn. They should be ready to digest. Okay, teaching is a stimulation, teaching is a guidance, directions, and encouragement. Right, guys? So this is the relationship between teaching and learning. Right? Up now, this is a simple assignment which you should know that. Okay, the next Sunday. Okay, you should know about what is teaching. Second, explain definitions of B.O. Smith. Okay, you can note it. Yeah, when I will send you the video, then you can pause and you can note it. Okay, otherwise, if you can write swiftly, so then you can note it. Name of the 5 characteristics या nature of teaching. Right, वो 5 characteristics या nature. Know the student first, causing to learn. Okay, stimulating. Teaching is a planned. Teaching is a tripolar process. Okay, teaching is a remedial, cooperative. कोई भी 5 बताने हैं आपको. Name any 5 maxims of teaching. Okay, learn 5 maxims of the teaching, like simple to complex, known to unknown. Right? What are the phases of teaching? वो 3 phases you have to tell. Define learning. What are the factors affecting learning? Okay, this topic I think I have missed. What are the factors affecting learning? Then relationship between teaching and learning. What is the relationship between teaching and learning? Okay, the factors affecting learning, and guys, other things in a learning, because on a learning there is a big chapter. Okay, so today you have seen that we talked more about the teaching, right? And we do only little bit about the learning and relationship between teaching and learning. Okay, when the learning topic would come, it is a full-fledged topic. Then over there we will talk about what is a learning, what are the factors of learning, factor influencing the learning. Then we will do that, the types of the learning. Okay, कौन सी types of the learning hai. So over there then we will cover that, factors affecting learning. Okay, and the last is relations between teaching and learning. Right, guys? So this is the assignment you must learn. Right, guys? So guys, thank you so much for today's lecture. Right, guys? So I'm going to close this slide. Okay, you have any doubt, you can ask from me. Okay, guys, and you will get the notes of this. Okay, don't worry. So I'm going to stop this lecture. Thank you so much once again, guys. Okay, you will get the video, right?
Sir?